Hey guys, my name is Mike, and today we're going to be talking about police officers. So today is a beautiful day, and the reason I'm going to start about this topic is because I went into the gas station the other day, and I made a friend, whatever. I was talking with the cashier lady. I came in another day because my mom wanted to buy the lottery. I don't really like the lottery. I don't think I'll ever play. I don't believe in it, but anyways, my mom's a weekly player, so I go in. Oh, nice little plane. So I go in, and I'm talking with the cash register lady, and this guy comes in. He's like, oh, hey, Elena, or whatever her first name is, and I'm like, oh, yeah, whatever, I'm about to leave. And then he comes up right next to me. He's like, oh, how much is the Powerball? I'm like, oh, I don't know, my mom's playing. I'm like, oh, fuck. Like, he's like fully suited up. He's the guy who owns the fucking Charger. I love the Charger police cars, by the way, but he's the guy who owns them. I'm like, oh, shit. Hey, and you know, he's a fully suited up police officer, but he's one of the nicest cops I've seen in a while. I was like, holy fuck. And as I walk out, you know, I wish him a nice day, and I realize, like, holy shit, there's a lot of police officers that are awesome, but there's also a lot of police drama. Like right now, for example, with the terrorist attacks and shit, there's a fuck ton of terrorist attacks, and you know, the police officers are helping us protect, and you know, that's kind of their fucking job. Like, here's the thing, there's a lot of police drama over the past like 2 years with like riots and, you know, all this Black Lives Matter and all that shit. Here's my opinion on it. There are some asshole cops out there, but there's also some really fucking awesome cops out there. And the thing is, with my personal experience, I've had both sides, and it's like, I get it. Sure, I'm not one of those oppressed people. You know, I have certain privileges. I will admit, like, I do come from a pretty well-to-do neighborhood. Lake Forest is like, you don't have, like, not everyone's rich here, but you do have a couple billionaires. So, like, you do have people who have less than $1 million, like, you know, middle class and shit, but you do have, like, the billionaires living a couple miles away, so it's like, they're really close. And the whole thing is, there's a lot of nice people here, but there's also a lot of really arrogant assholes. And sometimes it comes out of me too. I'm an arrogant asshole sometimes as well. I mean, just is what it is. And you do have a lot of arrogant asshole cops as well. You look at the town next door, Libertyville, it's a little bit better, but you still have some arrogant asshole cops, but then you have some really fucking chill ass cops. And here's the thing, I moved over to Evanston, which is a little bit south, and I was there for, you know, 3 months this summer, and the cops there were seriously like the nicest people I've ever, like, seen. It was fucking incredible, because here's the thing, I've met a lot of interesting cops over the years, and I've never been arrested. I've been detained, but I've never been arrested, which is crazy because I've done multiple felonies and all this shit. But anyways, so I've had friends who've been arrested and who've been in juvie and who've been in jail and who've done community service and all this shit, and they say that a lot of cops around from the Lake Forest area are fucking assholes. Where it's like, you know, they're definitely gonna want to bust you for even the smallest, tiniest things. I've had friends from other states as well who've been busted for smoking a little bit of weed, or, you know, going a little bit over the speed limit, and the cops are like, I fucking hate you, I have a quota to meet, and all this shit, right? But the cops that I've met personally, in Evanston especially, you know, I'm doing retarded shit, like I stole a shopping cart and I'm like drifting around it, and I was without my glasses, and I see a fucking SUV coming straight at me, and oh, lo and behold, it's a fucking police car, and he just stops, he's like, really? Like, where'd you get the shopping cart from? I was like, I'm gonna put it back. He's like, alright, good night. And then another time, you know, we're dumpster diving, I'm wearing like a weed hat, we're all like super tripped out, the cops are like, you know, they're about to pass us, then they're like, what? Fucking kids! They put on the flashlights, right? 2 cops come out, they're like, hey, are you the kids that did this and that? And we're like, oh, no. I mean, we're just here dumpster diving. And they're like, oh, okay, cool. Like, no, you guys aren't the kids who, like, destroyed the church or whatever next door? And we're like, no. No, I mean, we never did that, actually. So it was, like, funny, because they were looking for other people. That's the only reason they were even a tiny bit aggressive, because they thought we were the kids. Like, we were just like, oh no, we live down the block. And they're like, oh, okay, cool. Hey, you play Pokemon? We had a nice little conversation about Pokemon Go. Another time, you know, I was completely drunk and high off my ass, you know, playing Pokemon Go, and the cops were like, hey, fucking 3 in the morning. I was like, yo, what's up? And there's so many fucking times where it's like I was about to do something illegal, or I was doing something retarded, you know, just walking around being sketchy, like late at night in my pajamas and shit, and like the cops didn't give an absolute fuck. Like, really, the most common occurring thing that happened to me was cops were stopping me because they thought I was someone else, or they were looking for someone. Like, I was about to, like, we were walking by the beach, and I was like, hey, let's fucking break in and, you know, play around with these boats. And, right as I'm about to do that, a cop car pulls up. He's like, hey, did you guys see a lady walking her dog? She's like 40 years old. I'm like, oh, no, yeah, no. Have a good night, officer. Like, whew, like, I don't know. And then, you know, oh, here's a fucking clip. Okay, so recently on the Metro, this is fucking hilarious. On the Metro, my buddy and I hate the fucking Metro conductors. We've been nearly banned, and, you know, it's been getting worse. And especially when you're fennied out, you know, you take a lot of Phenibut, and you're really coked up, and you're like, this is where, like, the asshole arrogance comes out. So we tried paying with student IDs, and there was this lady sitting downstairs, right? I actually took a clip of her. I think she was a police officer because she had like the Illinois flag and shit. If not, she was a guard or something. And she was sitting there for like 30 minutes, right? And the first couple of minutes, we're arguing with the Metro conductor. Like, the Metro conductor, it's like fucking 11 p.m., right? So she's probably tired. The conductor's tired. And first it's my buddy, and my buddy's like, oh, you know, I can't pay with my student ID, what the fuck? He starts making a scene, right? And he starts screaming, and then finally he pays, like 5 minutes later, and then the conductor comes to me, and my feet are hanging. He's like, hey, your feet can't be up there. I'm like, fuck you, you know, my asshole side comes out, and I'm like, oh, I can't pay with my student ID, but college hasn't started yet. You know, and then I'm like, well, you know, I'm actually still a high school student because I failed. I was just doing all these retarded arguments, right? I was arguing. While arguing, George starts screaming, right? He's like, hey, you can't fucking be here. Like, he starts acting as the Metro conductor. And then I get even more pissed off, right? I get super coked up. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna fucking buy a $6 ticket right now, but I'm gonna fucking charge you back. I've charged 100 fucking tickets back. I've stolen a shit ton of things. You know, I'm admitting to like all my fucking crimes. I'm like, I'm a fucking criminal, man. You know, there's all this retarded shit. He's screaming. I finally pay, and he makes me laugh because he's like, there's no military discount or some shit like that. And, you know, finally the conductor goes away, and me and George are having a fucking discussion about like smoking hash and tens of thousands of dollars of iPads that we stole. And like, we went through pretty much all the criminal shit we've done. He's like, oh, you know, go to juvie. I'm like, yeah, go to juvie, whatever. 30 minutes of this, just fucking, we totally incriminated ourselves, right? And then finally, like, he says something about hash again, and she just turns, the cop lady finally turns away from her phone, and she just stares at us. She's staring, we look down at her, we see her uniform, and we're like, boo! And she just goes back to fucking playing. We're like, oh, you know. And this has happened so many fucking times where we like went full retard and totally incriminated ourselves. Oh, one time, you know, we were stealing from the tip jar, and George is like, I've stolen fucking iPads before. It's like we're totally retarded, and yet cops don't even give a fuck. Oh, that one time we were smoking weed right outside of the fucking university that Milo was presenting at. The guards came over. They didn't call the cops because they realized that we're like fully retarded. Like, you know, burning fucking papers outside, arson, and screaming, I'm gonna fucking rape you! And, you know, like, scaring girls and trespassing, smoking weed, offering drugs to random strangers. Like, there's so much illegal shit that we've done, especially right by police officers. Oh my god, Lollapalooza. Oh, there's so much retarded shit we did. I think the funniest part about Lollapalooza was later how I think I was rolling and I found George right. He was like by the ATV, by like the police ATV, like leaning on it, and he was talking with the cops. I'm like, oh, you know, I walk over there, I'm like, hey, police officer, you know, going full retard, and the police officers are like, so you guys paid $300 for a ticket just to talk with the cops and like chill here, and we're like, yeah. It's like cops don't even give a single fuck. And sure, here's the thing, I think that if I looked a little different, I mean, I already look sketchy with long hair and the hippie bandana and where I wear like my weed clothing, like, I mean, come on. Sure, I've been banned from places before and I'm an asshole, but like cops, I think, okay, I honestly think though, if I was black, I probably would have been tackled once or twice or some shit like that. But still, even then, I think most cops are getting way too much hate. I love cops, and here's the thing, here's my little apology. If I'm ever an asshole to you, be a police officer or not, I'm only an asshole because it's like in the moment, and like, you know, I do apologize if I'm ever speeding or some shit. This is not to police officers. Like Fear and Loathing, like if I'm being a total dickwad and you catch me speeding or some shit, I'm like, fuck you, fucking do drugs, and you know, all this retarded shit. It's just because, you know, I'm pissed off, and when I get in angry mode, it's hard to get out of that for a little bit. I need to cool off, simmer down and shit. But for the most part, I think not a lot of cops are assholes. The ones that are do stand out and shine above the rest. But I think I'm gonna be like, kind of like Trump here. I love the cops. I love the policemen. Because in a way, a lot of them are just following their rules. Like, it's not the cops that we should be pissed off at, it's the people above them. The people, the politicians who are making the rules. So that's just my opinion on it. And this is coming from a guy who's done a shit ton of crime and does a lot of drugs, and like, I hate the laws and shit, but I still like I totally disrespect the laws, but I don't disrespect the police officers, or at least I try not to. So that's just my little opinion on it. I'm trying to think whether there's some other crazy fucking story. I mean, there are. It's just I forget because there's so much retarded shit that we have done. But anyways, that's my little thing on it. Stay tuned for some more videos coming up soon. If you're new to this channel, please do leave a like, comment, and subscribe, as that certainly does help us grow. And I hope you enjoy this video, and peace.